Cognavi's expert webinar series. Cognavi is a pioneering AI-driven platform. We specialize in transforming the hiring process and empowering professionals to thrive in today's competitive landscape. Cognavi's parent company, Forum Engineering Japan, has a rich heritage spanning over 40 years in the HR tech industry. In today's webinar, we are here to embark on a journey through time, exploring the profound concept of reskilling and its transformative power in the age of artificial intelligence. Imagine stepping back to the late 18th or the early 19th century, a time during industrial revolution. As the world shifted from agriculture economy to the industrial economy, workers faced a pivotal challenge adopting to new technologies and skills that were demanded by the emerging factory era. This marked the dawn of reskilling on a large scale, as individuals had to embrace novel competencies to thrive in the evolving job market landscape. Fast forward to today, and we find ourselves amidst another revolution, the digital revolution. Propelled by automation and artificial intelligence, once again the tides of change are reshaping our workforce, challenging us to reinvent ourselves and acquire new proficiencies. With automation taking space in various industries, traditional job roles are evolving and some are even vanishing, paving the way for new opportunities that demand fresh skills and expertise. So, what does this mean for each of us, and how do we navigate this landscape of change and seize the opportunities in the present? That's precisely why we are here and what we are going to explore today. Join us as we delve into the power of reskilling, unlocking the pathway to career growth and fulfillment in the era of AI. Together, let's embark on this journey to discover empowerment and transformation. Let me introduce you all to the speaker today. Ms. Jyothi Gopalan is our esteemed speaker for today. Ms. Jyothi Gopalan is a senior talent acquisition specialist at Microsoft with over 15 years of industry expertise, specializing in guiding the career paths of professionals across the globe. With a rich professional background, including her contributions at esteemed organizations such as Amazon and IBM, Jyothi has cultivated a diverse skill set and a keen understanding of talent acquisition dynamics. Passionate about diversity and inclusion, Jyothi has spearheaded impactful initiatives at both Microsoft and Amazon, focusing on reintegrating women into the workforce and championing accessibility talent initiative. Her dedication to creating a more inclusive workspace has contributed to fostering environments where every individual can thrive. In addition to her corporate endeavors, Jyothi is an active member of the Iron Lady Bangalore chapter, where she plays a pivotal role in mentoring and empowering women to become leaders of tomorrow. She is also extremely passionate about interacting and working with young minds, firmly believing that the progress of our nation lies in the hands of intelligent young students. She is deeply committed and eager to make a difference in shaping the future of leaders of tomorrow. We welcome you to our webinar, Jyothi, and we are all yours to get more information on the webinar and the interesting topic for today.
Yeah, thank you for the wonderful introduction, Veera. Very happy to be part of Cognavi's webinar series, and very excited to talk about this topic about AI. Very close to my heart as well on how AI is influencing the world tomorrow. If we can go to the next slide, we can hover over. Yeah. So
sorry, there was a small mic issue. But before we proceed, Jyothi, I would like to ask you a question. In this era of rapid change, the demand for reskilling has been so urgent. Everybody is talking about this reskilling. And according to McKinsey's report, 87% of executives reported there is a skill gap in 2020. Well, currently we are in 2024. This report has been generated during COVID. But is there a reason why people still talk about the need for reskilling and it's so urgent in the recent times? What's your thought on all this?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's been quite many years since we have closed on the COVID chapter, but there's huge transformation from the time AI has started taking over the world. It has reshaped the way we work. It has reshaped the way we are looking at jobs right now and how the jobs are transforming in the next few years to come. And this AI transformation, that is what is leading to reskilling in future. And that's where we are seeing a tremendous opportunity for roles to evolve in future. There are lots of questions uh, pondering over the mind, like what is going to really happen? Is my job going to stay? What is going to happen to my job another 10 years down the lane? Am I going to do the same? Am I going to be in the same skill set as what I am right now? Or is it going to evolve over a period of time? And how is the job market or job scenario looking at, considering that AI has taken over a lot of these technological spaces? Can we go on to the next slide? Right. And definitely, we see that the job market is changing, and there is potential for a lot of opportunities that shape up the world in future. Right. Now, we did answer the question that AI, there is doubt, there is a fear if AI is going to take over a job. I just want to pass on a small research information from Professors Paul and James. They've written this book on human machine reimagining work in the age of AI. And they're trying to break the stigma or misconception that AI or robots or AI is going to replace our humans completely. So that's not the case. AI is here to augment human capabilities. While it is there to work on roles which are more recurring, which is something which can be automated, to working with humans hand in hand, and then ensuring that we focus on roles which require higher level of strategic thinking, and then we are able to focus on jobs which is of higher function, and that's where AI is going to be with us in future. So that is where the need of reskilling comes to picture. When I'm talking about AI and what the kind of demands that it has created from where we are right now and what we foresee in a couple of years, I see that there could be a huge gap in terms of the skills. Now, that's where the need of reskilling comes into picture. So, if I, as an individual, look at my current job and where my job is going to evolve in a couple of years, I would definitely see a gap. In terms of that, in terms of technical terms, I would call this as reskilling. Reskilling is all about updating your skills, either in terms of probably looking at an entire new different skills altogether, or updating your current skills and moving on to the next level. It could be either through vocational training, or it could be through formal approaches on online courses, workshop, or any other trainings that come into picture. Now, organizations and leaders around the globe are hugely vested. They understand the need. They understand that if my employees in my organizations currently do not go through this process of reskilling, there is definitely going to be a threat in future. And that's when organizations at the moment are hugely vested in ensuring that their employees are ready to take up the jobs in demand for future through the process of reskilling.
So, Jyoti, when we just heard about reskilling from you, I really feel that reskilling is a very vast topic. And how do we actually relate to it? We would like to hear a real life example. So, can you actually tell us about how your journey actually started as an engineering graduate and working in an engineering sector, and now becoming the global talent acquisition expert at Microsoft? How did reskilling actually help you throughout your journey? Share us your story.
Oh yeah, it's a very interesting story and it has some fun element as well.
We
I
love
was
to hear that.
the yeah, I was the very first in my entire family to
Mhm.
take up science STEM. Much before that, in my 10th standard, my dad once came to me and then he sat besides me and told me that, hey, I want you to take up merit seats, whatever in future, and I want you to get through distinction. And if you don't do that, just be ready. I'm going to get you married off to any of the shepherds back in the village. That was like, I know my dad was probably making fun, but I was so scared of that. And every time I would kind of laze around, I'm like, oh no, that's not where I want to be. I really want to be something else and not getting of married. Well, my dream was to be a doctor, and so was my parents. I finished my 12th with flying colors, got my medical seat as well. uh, Here's something that is interesting that happened during counseling. I took my medical seat, then happily went back home. And then I thought, now this is the world of IT boom. And, why would I spend 8 to 10 years of my life into medical, investing into medical? Rather, I do my engineering for 4 years, settle my life happily, and then just chill. That's what I thought. And then my parents, they come from a non-STEM background, and they did not have much idea about it, and nor did I have any guidance. However, I surrendered my seat, took up my engineering. 4 years of beautiful years. Engineering, again, very confident, came out very confident. And I got placed in one of the companies called CDC. It's a company which developed the second fastest supercomputers. And like all of, fresh entry level grads, um, first 6 months of my life was beautiful as an entry level grad. And then seventh month is when it started ticking. I was not really enjoying my job. I was not into coding, and it became like a complex puzzle. The next 6 months is when I try to understand myself better. Is this something that I want to do in future? Is this something that resonates with my personality? Is this something that for the rest of the life I'll be able to take through? I took time, and then discussing with families and then my friends, and that's when I consciously decided that maybe I need to do something else which reflects my personality, something that connects me with people. And while in my conversations and through my networking, I had this. I must thank to my friend back then. Um, I got this opportunity to work with my first firm with us, which is Capital. They gave me a break. They didn't really look at my background, where I came from. I did not have an MBA degree, but they gave me an opportunity because I did carry a passion to get into human resources. I started my journey there as a talent acquisition specialist, and the journey has been on since then, 15 years now. Worked with some of the big, wonderful firms from IBM to Flipkart to Amazon. And now I am doing my dream job in human resources with my dream company, and that's Microsoft. And the journey has been fabulous. The reason for sharing this story is because I'm sure everybody goes, at least some stage in life, we go through this journey, right? And it's very important that because you spend nearly 8 to 12 hours of your life at work, more than the time you spend with your family. And it's very important that you do a job which is close to your heart, which is close to your persona, which is close to your personality. And that's when your day never looks like lull. I understand we do go through our churn of stress, but that's something that you want to take it up. That's something that you want to passionate about. And that's something that keeps you going every day. So that's been my journey with Microsoft currently. Yeah.
That's a wonderful story. So, how did reskilling come into this part?
Oh yeah. Well, back then it was not that reskilling per se, but I did really work back on my strengths because I wanted to get into a job which was into human resources. And I came from a pure technical background. I started looking for opportunities within my organization. I started talking to my manager about, is there something else that I can do which is close to my passion on human resources? So he started giving me something around giving me opportunities and responsibilities around project management, coordination, collaboration, and that kind of built in my capacity on my confidence level of talking to people. And with talent acquisition, I already had a background on technology that kind of helped me in pitching into roles which is human resources oriented. And that's when, okay, now, we have been talking about AI for so long, but it's also great if we can understand I know all of us would be reading so much about AI, but let's just ponder a little about what's AI and what's generative AI. Now, AI is a science which talks about how do you make machines mimic or act and think like humans. Now, when you say act or think like humans, you talk about learning, which is the first thing that AI does. It learns and then it deciphers, it interprets data, it discovers, and then it gives results. So that's the beauty of AI. And next after that is generative AI. It is again an artificial intelligence model, which can give, it is a prompt-based model which can give output in the form of text, it can give in the form of images, video, and other forms, right? So these are AI and generative AI. Now here is a era of generative AI, because 80% of the organization across the globe have already started incorporating generative AI in their jobs in some way or the other. Now, there's one very interesting, I don't know how many of you here are fans of Avengers series. I'm a great fan of Avenger, and my favorite is Iron Man. Again, fan of Tony Stark there. Now, if you've seen Avengers series, especially Iron Man, and you know Jarvis, his AI assistant there, he does this task of running simulations for Iron Man. Just about when he's about to crash, that's when Jarvis comes, and then he kind of lifts up Iron Man, and that's where AI stands, right? This is there to stand with you forever, and this is the time for you to embrace the technology and walk through. It is there to stay. It is there to walk hand in hand, and it is there to help you in all your jobs in future. Okay, with this also let's try to understand the market trends, and also a little on the skills, evolutions of skills in the next 3 to 4 years. The market trend says that 3 out of 4 people around the globe have already started using AI as a part of their jobs. If you ask me, my day starts with that. I use AI in my teams to record meetings. Even much before I get into a meeting, I see my previous notes that is generated by AI. I use AI to draft my mails and make it look more appealing. I use AI for my insights in Excel. Not just that, even when I generate my PPT, I use Copilot. So there's a lot that's happening. Unconsciously, we have already started using AI. And there's also a report that says that 85 million jobs around the globe is going to get impacted by AI some way or the other. Now that's scary, right? But not as scary when I'm going to tell you that 97 million jobs are still going to get created. And now these jobs are the jobs which is some way or the other influenced by AI and automation, and they will evolve. Now, with this, I also see that there is definitely a shift required from the leadership perspective, from the organization perspective, on reskilling employees, and also from our individual self, that how am I going to be ready for the next wave or the current wave that's happening? Now, in terms of the skill, I would also like to highlight some of the very important skills that is going to be like the top-notch skills for future. From 2024 to 2026, this is the data for the next 3 years. From the technology standpoint, there are 4 jobs which is definitely going to be like the most lucrative jobs created by AI. One is around AI and big data, the very first one. Second one is going to be your networking and cybersecurity. That is the need of the hour, security. Third one is going to be around design thinking, the design UI and UX, of course, and a lot to do with data sciences and machine learning. Now, these are the 4 top jobs that are going to stay, and they're going to take over, boom in the industry. In terms of the skills or the soft skills or the cognitive skills that we are talking of, now there are 4 critical skills that I could outline right now. One is critical creative thinking. Now this is where for jobs which does not require automation, but there are jobs where critical thinking is extremely important. Critical thinking, analytical thinking, strategic thinking, thinking from the perspective of the bigger picture, and technological literacy on what is really happening around the world. These aspects are very, very important if you have to navigate through this transition of AI journey. With this, like I focused on, the skill building efforts are extremely, extremely important. And it also, research also says that one third of their employees have already, like I mentioned, they've already started using AI in some way or the other. And around 40% expect that there will be an investment in AI in organizations across the globe. Okay, now this is my favorite one because I think I'm a Gen AI professional, and what makes a Gen AI professional? Let's try to understand that. Now these are the new wave of professionals who are not just good at what they are doing, their current jobs, but these folks have teamed up with AI. They are like the goody goody friends of AI, and they are using AI tools, AI plugins, AI enabled softwares to help their jobs. That is something that will help them in increasing their productivity. I mean, this is something that has helped them in increasing their efficiency, increasing their productivity, and staying on the edge in terms of the work they do. In addition to that, there is a research which also says that because of the use of AI, there is a profound increase of 15% productivity in people. And that's something that I've already been witnessing in my jobs because some Excel is something that I was really struggling with. But with the help of Chat GPT and other AIs, it's just a matter of seconds. I ask, what is the formula? And then voila, I already have the formula. And it just gets done like this. Uh, it just happens that easily.
So, Jyoti, before we proceed any further, let's take up some interesting polls. So this is one kind of ritual that we always do before our webinar. What do? Is we try to engage with our audience on Instagram and LinkedIn. So the polls that you see currently is from Instagram. So we had asked a couple of fun questions to our audience, and these are our answers. Let's interact over the questions. So the first question that we asked our audience is, which one would you prioritize when you're developing, your first kind of skill sets? We had two options. First one was technical skills and the other one was soft skills. We can see 60% of them voted for technical skills. Now I really wonder, is soft skills underrated? What's your vision on this?
Okay. Wow. Okay. I would, if you ask me, and from my professional perspective, technical skills and soft skills both are equally important. If somebody is really good at technology, but if they're not able to articulate their answers, if they're not able to speak up, if they are not really good at soft skills in the way they interact with others, and if they do not have that confidence, then it is really difficult to be successful in their jobs or in the career. So I strongly feel that they walk hand in hand. But at the same time, I also believe that attitude matters a lot in a person, right? So, coupled with technology, soft skills, attitude is something that I really go for in a person. Yeah.
That's nice. The second question that we asked was, what motivates you to learn new skills? Like all of us, whenever we develop a new hobby, we are like, why do you want to do this? So, the similar kind of question we asked our audience with three options. First one, advancing my career and keep up with the industry trend. Because all of us want to be tech savvy. So, that was our first option. The second one is improvising my earning potential. Third, meet job requirements and expectations. Sadly, only 7% of them chose meeting job requirements and expectations. Although all the three options are, related to each other in some level or the other, most of them wanted to advance their careers and keep up with the industry trends. Now, is it just because there is a slight fear in everyone's mind because either we don't have the complete understanding or knowledge about AI, or the myth or the kind of thought that we have like AI is going to take over our jobs, and such kind of reasons that keeps people pushing to maintain their industry trends. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I feel I totally echo with your thoughts, Veera, because people now are very informed. They are updated. They know what is really happening in the outside world, and what really matters to them is going through that journey and ensuring that they are on top of the career ladder, right? And the second point that talks about improving my earning potential, of course, that's definitely there. But if you ask me, if a person is looking for a job shift, or if he is looking for a career change, it would be mainly from the perspective of learning something new or improving himself or other factors rather than compensation alone. So the first point stands out more, that the satisfaction that one gets out of the job, the cultural alignment with the organization that the person is working with, and then the kind of learning opportunities and the kind of visibility that you get through your job, that matters the most. And the result says it all. 67% have rightly voted it. I'm with them too.
I agree. So, guys,
Yeah.
if you're just starting your career or about to start, or if somebody is in this audience segment is looking for a job change, you guys are actually in the right place. Let's get to know more about reskilling and we'll have a more deep dive. I'm sure Jyoti has more in store for us.
Sure. Thank you, Veera. Let's go to the next slide, please. Okay. I also want to emphasize on roles which is less impacted by AI, and roles which is probably very resistant to automation, right? So the roles which are probably more are at risk of automation are roles like the data entry roles wherein, or jobs wherein, these are the jobs which is more on the recurring mode, right? Wherein there are a lot of repetitive tasks that is involved. For example, in finance, you've already started seeing bots. In banking, you already started seeing bots. And then in marketing, for collecting data, you already have plugins, you already have AI tools which does the service. So finance, banking, marketing, these jobs inevitably will have some amount of influence in terms of risk of automation. But the roles which has lesser risk of automation, now this is something interesting, are the roles like this. These are the roles like which involves human empathy, critical thinking, human decision making. Now that's something which is really difficult, and it takes a long time, right? And these are not the recurring kind of skills. Now the professions which can get which is less resistant to this automation is healthcare. I cannot replace my doctors. Education, I cannot replace my teachers. I dare do that. And design thinking, arts or design. Although I know there is still fear because AI can generate images and do a lot of things, but still, these are some of the fields which are less immune to automation, and there's still a long way to go. Apart from that, manufacturing, agriculture, and healthcare, pharma, these are some fields which are still there and which will continue to be the spots which are not very AI specific. Well, the next three slides, I'm going to talk about the most important aspects around reskilling. One is at an individual level, next is at an org level, and next is at an academic level. So focusing on individual
Just a second, Jyoti. I'm sorry to pause you.
reskilling.
But audience, if you have any questions that you would like to ask us, the host will be happy to answer, but please leave it in the Q&A box. And once the session is done, we will come back to a live Q&A session and we will take up your questions.
Individual reskilling. Now, how do I start with that? Let's say I, as an individual, want to reskill myself. Where should be my starting point? My starting point should be first to understand what is real, to be updated, to be informed, to understand what is really happening in the industry right now. Now, that and to understand that, you definitely need to study a lot around the news, around reading journals, reading articles and publications which is relevant to your field. That's about industry trends. Once you understand the big picture, the next is around understanding yourself. What is your current skill set? Where am I right now? And what is my current skill set? 5 years down the line, this is how my job is going to be in demand, and this is my desired field. If I need to go there, how do I cope up with that? So, how do I fill that gap? Now, if I have to fill that gap, there are certain places that I would probably reach out to. One is either I enroll myself in some of the online courses. Like there are a lot many. Just to mention a few, like you have Coursera, you have Udemy, you have edX. Now, these courses have, from the time AI has evolved, it's seen a tenfold increase in terms of enrollment. So you enroll yourself in those courses. You also seek for mentorship in the industry who can help you understand that, am I thinking right? This is where I seek to go further, but can you please help me with the insights around this? How do I grow in this field? So I'm sure there'll be lot many mentors. If you, they say, right, that if you look for a guru at the right time, only then guru will come to you. So that's when you need to seek for the right guru or the right mentor who can help you. And once you're done with that, also have a key eye on events, attend seminars, to get that hands-on. Also, listen to what people have to say. Attend, go to podcasts, and then get a hands-on understanding of what it is like to be in the next phase of the AI era. Now, with that, I feel if you are able to accept that challenge and embrace the change, I'm sure with consistency, with hard work, and with a clear picture of where I'm going to stay, I believe in manifestation as well. This should come true. That's about individual reskilling. We can go to the next one. Okay. Once you like, we spoke about it at an individual level of reskilling. We're also talking about reskilling in academia. Now, this is extremely important because I believe that if you are stagnant in your current skills and then you are out of your course and then you see that the world outside is operating in a different level altogether, and you stand nowhere. So it is, I feel this is a need of the hour. It's extremely important to integrate AI as a part of your curriculum. And definitely it calls out for a different action from universities and colleges to integrate AI, irrespective of the domain or the field that you want to integrate into. For example, I would want to quote a few examples. Example is around, let's say, healthcare. As a doctor, if I have an AI tool that can help me make a faster diagnosis on the illness, it can read through my scans, my patient scans, and x-rays, and then it can help me give a holistic understanding and prediction that probably these are the kind of illnesses this person is going through. Imagine if that what would have taken for me weeks together can be done in probably a couple of minutes. That's great. You're actually saving the life of an individual much faster. And this I can vouch if that is something related to a very serious illness, right? So healthcare. And then you can also talk about fields like marketing. Marketing is one place wherein, example, if I am a marketing executive or a sales executive, and through one of the AI tools, I get to understand that this is the scenario, and understand the customer's behavior in a particular segment, and through that I'm able to gain some insights. I will able to quickly change my gears in the customer segment I need to focus, right? So I just hovered over these topics around medical and sales, but the need of the hour is to integrate AI at every segment possible, be it engineering, be it social sciences, or businesses, or finance, healthcare, and education. In addition to that, how are you going to equip your students? One is, of course, through a partnership with industries, uh, giving them hands-on exposure to projects, internship programs, getting them through research, being part of startups who actually look for one such collaboration with universities. So that becomes very pivotal. Apart from that, of course, industry collaboration, guest lectures and workshops wherein you invite experts from this industry to talk about AI and other fields, and you get first hands-on information what is really happening around the world. So that is about reskilling, and I know it's a very big responsibilities and onus on the shoulders of academia and educational institutes, and I really wish them the very best. So can we go back to the previous slide, please? And yes, this is also my very favorite topic because it talks about organization level reskilling. Folks, almost 70% of the leaders around the globe believe that reskilling is required. Reskilling is required at organization level. And they've almost started investing around 1.5% of the budget goes into upskilling and reskilling initiatives. They also believe that if I am not reskilling my employees at this point of time, I will lose my battle. I will probably stay out of competition. I will probably, or my organization will not be in the next level of innovation. So it's a very serious matter for organizations as of now. Now, I want to share a few stories, interesting stories around reskilling. Amazon. Um, Amazon invested around $1.2 billion around the reskilling and upskilling employees. Through that exercise, they have been able to incorporate, bring in employees who came from a non-traditional background to data center jobs, technical roles, and employees who probably had very less experience in machine learning or data sciences. Through these programs, they have been able to equip themselves with the skill and be in much better jobs in the AI world. That was the story of Amazon. Now, if you talk about IBM, IBM has always been in the forefront of giving back to the community in one way or the other. So they have tied up with organizations, 30 organizations inclusive of government organizations, universities, and colleges, addressing skill gaps. Um, they've been training people across different avenues, and they're also generating the workforce that is going to be ready for the needs of the future. Another two examples that's also close to my heart is Verizon's reskilling pilot program, where they've exclusively tied up with colleges, and they're preparing their students to be ready for as future employees for the demands for the AI world.
Okay, until then, Jyoti, before we continue any further, which was the company or which was the story that impressed you the most?
I have been a great fan of IBM because they've
Mhm.
always been in the forefront when it comes to research and giving back to communities. And in fact, my very first job involved, understanding the IBM landscape, the research scientists, and they've always been like the apple of the eye around the globe. My previous company being IBM, I worked for IBM Research Labs and IBM Software Labs for some time, and I know I'm all for the talent there. Yeah, and I know the kind of CSR activities that they do, and the focus is also to bring up underprivileged sections, underprivileged, underskilled people to come to the start of the society in different ways of reskilling efforts. And any day it's IBM for me. Yeah.
That was really good to know. Let's continue.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're talking about Verizon, which has this reskilling pilot program with colleges. Again, they train students and employees to be ready for future roles. Recently, Infosys also invested heavily on this reskilling exercise, wherein they trained around 2,000 employees on cybersecurity. So the idea was to probably invest in the talent internally and then probably get them ready for for the cybersecurity roles of future. So that was around Infosys journey on cybersecurity. So we discussed about individual reskilling, org level reskilling, and we also discussed about the responsibility which lies in the academia or education level. So with this, I conclude, I strongly feel that it's an incredible journey that we are going through right now. And with individual commitment from individuals and commitment from orgs and institutions, there is tremendous opportunity to shine in future with the journey of AI. And I'm always up for this and really loved having this seminar today. But one area I also feel where automation will never come into picture or AI will fail is If AI were to be my daughter and I tell my daughter, get ready, let's go out, it's going to take 2 hours for my kid to get ready. That's where AI is going to fail tremendously and nothing can be done about it. That was jokes apart. I wish all of you the very best in your career journey ahead. And I believe with training and providing the right opportunities, anybody can pivot their career trajectory in the right direction and shine in the world. That's what I believe in. Thank you, Veera.
I agree, Jyoti. Your whole session was very interesting, and I'm sure all our audience thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, before we go on into our Q&A session, which I know most of you are excited for, I would actually like to share a couple of words about Cognavi. So, as you all know, Cognavi is an AI-driven platform. We have an ecosystem that connects students, recruiters, and universities. Our platform streamlines the recruitment process and helps recruiter hire the top talent in the least amount of time. So, recruiters, if you're present out here in our audience, please feel free to try out Cognivi. You can get in touch with our experts. The link to book the demo is available in the chat box, and it'll also be shared to you on your thank you emailers. Please get in touch, and we'll be happy to connect with you. Now, the stage is all open for the Q&A.
So how is it going to be, Veera? Are we going to take up questions individually
Yes.
or
So I can actually see the questions from the host perspective. So as our audience drop the Q&As, I'll be taking up questions one after the other to you, and you can continue answering it to them.
perfect? Yeah.
Okay, so our very first question is from Veena. So her question is, can students learn AI after their 10th or 12th as a separate course?
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's a very, very interesting question. Thanks for that question, Veena. In fact, today I was surprised to see there is a lot of content which is already available. Even if you go through company websites, go through IBM website, go through Amazon's website, Microsoft website, these companies have host of opportunities, host of training material which is freely available. Even if you go and search in open source community, you have a lot of content which is freely available, and you can definitely learn. So there's no boundary for learning if you are enthusiastic and passionate about picking up and learning AI. Nothing can stop you. But after 10th standard, if you're, I don't know how it's going to help you, but you can definitely get a foundation level understanding of how AI functions and the world on the other side.
Okay. The next question is from Ayush. So his question is, what technical and non-technical skills should a candidate possess for SDE role? Okay.
Oh,
This,
okay.
okay, guys. Although the question is meant, or the Q&A box is meant specifically for the webinar topic, we will take this question as an exception. Jyoti, you can give us your overall perspective.
Oh, I think he took the right opportunity to ask this question. Ayush, a smart question. Okay. SD is software dev engineer, right? What is more important? Your coding skills, your designing skills. If you're somebody with less than 3 years of experience, then algorithms, data structure, low-level designing skills are very much required. Data structures, algorithm, designing, and you should be really good at coding. A lot of platforms out there which can help you get into practice coding like HackerRank and HackerEarth and GitHub for designing questions. So you can practice a lot around that. In terms of soft skills, very important. Have that mindset of learn it all attitude, asking the right set of questions, being articulative, looking for opportunities wherein, even if you are in your graduation right now, looking for opportunities. So you pick up that opportunity and then you train yourself around those areas. Articulation, communication skills are very, very important. Analytical skills are very important. Problem solving skills are very important. That's about it, Ayush.
Okay, so another question from Veena. The question is, can professors also get trained? So is this a question regarding reskilling specifically, or is it regarding to your previous question on AI, Veena? Tell us more about it. Okay, she has responded in terms of reskilling. So the whole question would be, can professors get trained in the aspect of reskilling?
Okay, so Well, professors or teaching faculty, they reskill themselves and they want to be ready for roles. They want to switch the roles. Is that what the question is?
Yes.
Okay, of course, I've seen so many professors who are into the teaching line. They have they have learned new skills, they have interned, and they have also sought after in corporate jobs. I have seen many such employees who come from an entirely teaching background and now into corporate jobs. That's very much possible. You can do that, Veena.
All right. Okay, we have one more question. Just a minute. Okay, guys, in case you guys want to ask questions, please ask it in the Q&A box so we can answer all the questions one after the other. Okay, we also have a question from Kirti B. Kirti, your following questions, please ask in the Q&A section. So from Kirti, she wants to know, ma'am, how to switch to a career in HR for an engineering student? Should I need to do an MBA for sure? Kindly give me a basic idea.
Okay, so if you ask me, and this was from Kirti, right?
It's from Kirti.
Kirti, you're actually rewinding my story. I did my MBA too, but I did it quite late after my marriage and my kids. But then I would advise anybody to go through that journey of MBA. It is very important because that gives you a real-time understanding of how you get to study different functions, different example, marketing, human resources, lot many other functions. It gives you a holistic understanding of what it is like to be in a segment like human resources. And if you already have some prior experience, that will help you much more because you'll be able to relate with, you already have industry experience. And once you're in MBA, it helps you relate with the real time case studies and experiences, and you will be able to rock in your MBA. I would strongly suggest that you do your MBA. It gives you a different league altogether.
So, Swagat's question is, what according to you will AI cover in terms of HR? First, in terms of subdomains like talent acquisition, operations, administration, training and development, etc., and how. You have pretty much covered all the subdomains. But yes, what's your thought on this, Jyoti?
Okay. So I don't think there is any area where AI does not have its fingerprints, right? Like I said, I start my day with AI. I use Copilot so extensively in my job. And every employee, I believe, right now is already using AI, be it in HR function, talent acquisition. There are a lot of tools which have come in which can give you insights, data, and tell. Example, I have 100 resumes, and there's already a tool that is running in the background. It tells me out of these 100, maybe only top 20% of these candidates match in the skill set, and they're already running in the background. That makes my job much easier. So similarly, it runs through across different functions of HR and in different ways. But AI has already had a footprints across all segments, and there is no segment where I can say that no, this is not working. It's already started its influence in a big way. I cannot like my day does not go without me interacting with Copilot or Chat GPT. It makes my job so easier, and I feel so productive. I'm able to formulate mails which are so crisp, and it's like a friend walking hand in hand.
That's really true. Swagat, we hope that answers your question. Next, we have another question from Vaishali. So, Vaishali wants to know, how can someone from sales profile in an edutech industry transit to tech profiles? Or is advised to go from business analyst profile? So, basically, she wants to know how somebody can transit from a non-tech background to tech background. So, we would be answering this in a perspective of reskilling.
Uh, Yes, you can also take this as reskilling exercise because uh, upskilling is about upgrading yourself. Reskilling is also about switching yourself from one set of skills to another set of skills. Definitely, I just want to quote this beautiful example. In my experience prior at Amazon, I had this colleague who was working with me at Human Resources. And there was an opportunity area where I was going back and asked this question is, how do you build insights on this? Can you help me with that, with this insights on Excel? How do you build that? And that colleague of mine really took it on onus and he started working, investing in his time and working around that to an extent that over a period of 3 months, he was an expert in Excel. He was an expert in data analysis. That was astounding. In 6 months, he decided that he wanted to quit the job in human resources, talent acquisition. He took up an entirely different role altogether. And now he's a lead business analyst with HCL. It's possible. Either you look for opportunities within your current organization, look for shadow assignments, look for shadow opportunities, look for assignments, look for opportunities wherein you can probably grab that. Now, if you are thinking from the perspective that you don't have those opportunity within your organization, then of course you'll have to go outside, train yourself around in those skills, look for internships in those areas, and with that you should be able to. There are a lot many. In fact, one of my friend who is also into this, she took up internship and then after that she also got a freelancing job. There's so many freelancing opportunities wherein they give you projects to work on. You can pick up those projects, you can learn, you can build your portfolio through that and then switch over to a new skill altogether, or a new role altogether. It is possible, definitely possible.
All right. I have another question. This I'm gonna interpret it in this way. So this question is from Manoj. So he basically wants to know, if you're a fresher, do you have enough opportunities to get into AI or data science? I believe this is because in one of our slides we did speak that these are some of the booming sectors. So he wants to know if freshers have adequate job openings in terms of AI and data science.
Uh, Definitely, there are a lot many openings, but I would also suggest that you, as a student, need to build your portfolio or your CV in such a way that it shows that at some place you had some amount of exposure to data sciences or machine learning. Either you've been part of any of. I see a lot of, in fact, a couple of really interesting CVs that I kind of know whereas students have already started working with some of the startups in the third or fourth year. They get that exposure, they work on those problem statements in data sciences AI, and they've already added it as a part of their CV. Or even your internship programs, your summer internship programs, you can probably try for many such internship programs and pick up the project which closely aligns to machine learning or data sciences. With that, your CV is over an edge compared to all other candidates in the same league. That is number one. Let's say you don't get that opportunity. In that case, get into data engineering roles, and through that, you can navigate through data sciences gradually. In addition to that, like I said, you can also learn yourself in through courses, online courses, and then equip yourself and then take a few projects through which you can get that real-time exposure and understanding on the skills required. That will make you industry ready. I believe in that.
All right. So I believe, Manoj, we have answered that question for you. And there is another question from Dilip. It's actually a very big paragraph. I'm going to compress it in a way. So basically, he's explaining us how he is transitioning during his period being a mid-senior level professional. So now in his career journey, he is actually learning about lean agile methodology and AI mindset and all of that. So he wants to know, going having a 10 years of experience, going through intense trainings through universities that provide you courses and all of that, how influential it can be, and if there is something that you would recommend, for people who are interested in learning about agile or AI.
Okay. So Manoj's question is, now that he is going through all these
This
trainings,
is Dilip. We just answered
okay,
Manoj.
yeah, sorry. Dilip's question is that he is already in this journey of equipping himself with these skills. Now,
Mhm.
how relevant is it going to be in future is what his question is.
Yes, how relevant it is gonna be, and because I think this is the first question we are having from a mid-senior level person. So he
Okay.
wants like having 10 years of experience, he want to specialize in AI. And he says, I am going through a agile course series in a specific under a specific university. And he's also in search of more such courses that could influence his thought process. So he wants
Mm.
to know if that could actually help him embrace the leadership and AI agile, mindset for the knowledge and, mingle up better in the industry.
Being industry ready. Okay, yeah, I understand that. Of course, like I already mentioned with one of the previous questions, that there are a lot of courses which is already available. If you Google out some of the top-notch companies and their websites, you will already see free courses around artificial intelligence, machine learning. Apart from that, if you browse through Harvard's or Stanford's online material, you will find crazy courses there in the AI world. You will be able to easily equip yourself. In addition to that, a very streamlined approach will be around the online courses that you take. Now, how useful these courses are, or how useful this is going to be, would entirely depend on what is your goal, where is it that you want to move further. Through AI, are you aiming to get into AI jobs? Then you will have to, once you equip yourself with these skills, also look for some real-time experiences. Either look for opportunities wherein you can shadow within your own organization. Talk to the technical folks in your current organization. Look for shadows, stretch assignments, and start shadowing them for 3 months, 6 months. And gradually, when there's an opportunity that you see, of course, networking and building that presence is very important. With that, you should be able to quickly switch over to the job that is more interesting, and that's more aligned to your long-term career aspirations. Yeah.
Yes, so Dilip, I hope that answers yours. I know Anish, you have sent me a question, but we will have to take Ayush question first, because that's on queue. And Ayush wants to know, on what basis does ATS work? So he also wants to know how this helps in terms of recruitment process. Like, what are the he wants to actually know, like, what are the kind of parameters that we usually consider when we take a help of ATS system.
Oh, yeah, this is a little offline question, but I would still love to answer. So close to my role. It what ATS does is you have the job description, and you have as a candidate you submit your resume. ATS tries to match the keywords and the skill set that is there in the job description with your resume. And when we put the right filter, there's an algorithm that runs background in the ATS, and it gives a match that these are the set of profiles with a certain criteria. Let's say from the ATS, from the job description perspective, there are 5 skills which are the top-notch skills that is required. When ATS runs an algorithm in the back, and when it gives me the search results, it says this particular profile is 100% match. So automatically my eyes will be always on top, like, okay, this profile is my 100% match. And then I'll go from stack ranking those candidates, and my top fetches are the ones which ATS throws out, like the top ones which match my job description and skill set that I'm looking for. So that's how ATS works. Yeah.
All right. I hope that question is answered for you, Ayush. Then now we have another question from Anish. So he says, good evening, ma'am. In student level, we learn different AI related courses. In industry or company we work on, only particular topics we do. We learn all courses are better, or should we only learn one course? Like, should we learn all the courses that are given to us, or should we focus on one course? And how would you choose the course that you should be proceeding with?
Okay. So his question was, at college he's been given exposure to multiple courses.
Yeah, can I repeat it once again?
Okay, his question is that at in
Student
his
level,
college,
yes, in
at
student
student
level,
level,
we learn
he is
different AI related courses. In industry or
yeah.
company, only particular topics of AI are being taught. So, should we learn
Hmm.
all the courses that are, about AI, or should we choose one and work on it? And if we are supposed to choose one, how do we choose that?
Okay. So, what is the hottest trend in the AI field? That's a very interesting and a tricky question as well. So,
Yeah.
what is the most interesting trend in terms of AI? Talking about machine learning, you're talking about data sciences. In terms of jobs, you're also talking about cybersecurity roles taking over, right? So, if you ask me, for me, if I were a student, my first focus area would be around data sciences and machine learning. That's my topics. And probably I'll invest more time around that. But honestly, if you want to be industry ready, apart from being skilled, you'll also need to show your potential on what else you've done differently while studying these courses. Did you also intern differently, or you did something great, or did you probably do your own project in this area? What have you done? So I know a lot of students, they group together and they come up with new projects and new initiatives. And that's where, design for delight or incubation of new ideas happen at a student level itself. So that was a very good question. So it all depends. Like if you try to map and see where the organization or where the industry is heading to, then my top picks will be these skills. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Jyoti, for answering all the questions for us. And audience, I hope we have answered all your questions. In case you have something, please leave it in the Q&A box. We will be closing the session sooner.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Any
I'm so
further
sorry.
questions?
We have another question, and yes, so this question is from Vishwanand Sai. So he wants to know, how deep should my surface level understanding of various technologies be in T-shaped learning model? And is it necessary to gain practical experience through internships in these areas other than my passionate areas? You basically mean to ask us that you're passionate about a different thing, but just to keep up with the industry trends, you are asking how good your surface level understanding should be. Please confirm if our understanding with the question is right.
Okay. So now again, it depends on what are you going to do with these skills. Is these skills going to equip you for roles in future, or is it that I'm just learning for the sake of learning? Example, I'm also learning about trading. I'm learning about brokerage because I want to make big money. That's it. And that's a part of my interest. But is it something that's going to be any value addition in my current job? No, it is not. It doesn't help me. So surface level knowledge is something that you probably take it up because you're passionate about something and you're interested about something. And deep dive investment into a skill or into a particular subject is when you do that. You want to grow in that field is when you invest your deep level knowledge into. So it all completely depends on you. If I believe that, even in real life, if you invest in the particular area of your interest that you're deeply vested in, it will take you there. But if you let that area starve, it will stagnate. So it all depends on you where you want to grow through that skills, then you invest deeply on that. But if you're somebody who just wants to have a surface level understanding in those areas, you will still remain there. That's my take. It all depends entirely on which skill that you want to hone into and where you want to grow in maybe a few years down the line.
And to all the recruiters and the placement officers present in our webinar today, please feel free to get connected with our experts, and we will walk you through Cognavi's AI driven platform that will actually solve a lot of things for you, starting from hiring the right talent to the job that you're wanting to fill faster. And you can actually hire within 7 to 14 days because the AI capabilities will enable you with such potential. Our link is available in the chat box and you can get in touch with our experts right away. All right. So far, these were the questions for today. Thank you so much, Jyoti, for joining us. It was a wonderful session. And I thank you on behalf of all our participants and audience and Cognivi team for taking your time and sharing these valuable insights with us. It was a wonderful session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ira. The questions were amazing and very glad that it did make sense to a lot of them. Thanks a lot, and all the best for your journeys in the future. Thank you, Ira, and thanks to Cognitive. It was a wonderful interaction. Thank you.
Cognavi, pioneering possibilities.